application, right? We kind of measure that by the results, goes without saying. But I think this is a good opportunity for London United actually to come out and open this series with a win. And again, actually, just looking back, I'll be honest, I would have written London United off against Vitality, considering they did drop earlier 2-0 to them. So take that into account. We have a pretty solid chance here of London United again causing upset, I would say. Any other day of the week, I'd say XL should take this.
And I think that's a good point. The overcoming Vitality was a huge aspect, and maybe credit that towards, Boo being the IGL in this, maybe able to adjust well enough in time, be it the coach behind the scenes. But again, be able to come back in and do it, I don't say comfortably. It wasn't a comfortable game by any margin, but successfully, right? The ends justifying the means. But on paper, result-wise, and I'd say caliber-wise of what we're used to, XL does hold at least the upper hand in that. Now, I'd still like to see what London United can bring, and already first blood could be drawn right about now. There it is. Dreamus going to get things started, and looks to follow up probably towards a second, but it's got to be a little careful here. The wrap's about to come in.
Bought enough time for the wrap there. Yeah, Ozzy going to close that out, so moves to a 4v4. A little bit of damage done here. The paint shell actually might even stop that, might even find a kill on Mo, and it does.
Yeah, good chunk of damage achieved already into this 4v3, and look at the HP. Now, Patitek and Aussie going to get themselves a little better off for a second or two, get themselves resituated in this, but you can see London United slowly but surely encroaching back towards it. And Feku's another name I think we're going to be saying a fair amount throughout this, at least if he performs as expected. Chihuahua trying to catch that cross and had an opportunity, but Boo with the back.
That's, again, one actually, the reps maybe become a concern. We talk about that. Feku bearing down, actually 3 from XL will swing into main. Actually, the fault line actually gets ahead of it and able to dash behind it. So nice opener here. Finds the second as well. The XL have to pull away from this. That. Nice little aggression there from Feku actually.
And it wasn't isolated. If I saw him with that rifle on his own, taking those fights, that's when you get nervous, right? You think, oh, one sheriff shot actually finding its placement, you'd suddenly be in a bit of a bother. But no, there were still 2 or 3 players by his side. You saw the breach and the raise not too far away. So something about London United as well, I guess you could say, is they do have a nice little bit of, I guess, synergy between the players. They do lean towards it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing by any margin. Yet to see that standout player, yet to see that one player popping off, I guess, but we've seen as a collective very diligent, and speaking of diligence, this round is perfection already. 5 standing, barely a touch of damage done, Mo identified as well, so position going to be considered very early on. You can see the rotations coming in just to make sure this doesn't spiral, but already going to at least pick up Dreamas. Now, any more damage is great. I don't think he's going to get to that tipping point of costing them too much. But we'll see if he can get any more out of this, Mo. The net being closed in, you can see he's desperate for someone to put a mistake on the board, but London
be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it really could be, and again, let's see how much they want to commit to this. If you've got Spectres, and yes, you have that rifle, you still want to find use for it, find value in it, and actually that's a peak and a half from Element, but great trades coming out from Destrian. How's he found 2 there? The swift escape from Molesy, just going to back away, damage achieved, and now you look towards the other side of the pendulum, the swing on the other side. Dreamus and Boo are considering maybe cresting that corner, but think better of it, fall back a touch, as they may need to support Molesy on the other side, as XL are going to continue forward. Still favourable as well, with 3 rifles in their hands.
3v3, and XL, again, it's awkward to drop here onto site. Your Spectre on the other side of it, no utility, but exactly a comfortable push here. Ozzy going to try and lead the way, and he actually gets picked up by Molesy there. Big jewel to come out on top of, and actually London United find
cash coming back out here for XL, trying to do something with this, but London United will be beaming after that last round. Huge conversion, great impact, love the proactive play. Feku going to be checked on again, though. This is becoming a regular occurrence, and XL will need to commit either early utility or really keep that in the forefront of their minds. But it has been quelled for now, but they have now noted potentially that Spectre in play, these Sheriffs, and Patitek going to connect. Maybe an overstep here is Molesy. I'm a little nervous about him in this position. Can he stick around?
It's double flank, Lauren.
Support's en route. This is what they were waiting on, and there it comes. That perfection personified for London United. Mo still finds a bit of damage, but by now it's a 3v1. Chihuahua not going to be able to get towards the site anytime soon, and it's a Sheriff and a little bit of armor.
It's so proactive from London United, again, just taking the space when they feel all this pressure in A main. Again, it's on the back of the information that Feku is able to relay. Wow, and now a chance of a kill onto Dreamus, maybe. I have to deal with Boo first, though. Who actually shouldering perfectly, finds it. The poison orb here to slow things down as well. Even more difficult to find anything in this scenario. And again, this is really matter about losing another rifle here if they survive with 2. Actually, no, Feku still one away from the ultimate. So actually, it'll be a big tool for the next one. Chihuahua actually walking through the snake bite towards A now.
And I like seeing a bit of versatility towards it. You can already see the intention coming out from XL, however. It is looking relatively invested towards that B site with late presence as well. But the Viper are going to make that a little tricky, potentially, for them to find as much impact on the split as they'd like. So I wonder if they maybe reconsider their options here.
Actually, the wall makes it very interesting. Both sides of B site covered now, and London United just considering rotating away. XL send 3 towards Dish. It's only Feku. Again, he's going to get some early information. You see Molesy making his way through ropes as well. I think actually, yeah, he's just picked up the angle on towards drop. So London United should get an early indication here. I'm concerned Destrian's still curious towards B here.
He's stuck around, yeah. Normally he kind of plays along the tune.
That should be it, straight away.
Rotation time Molesy. Now he has to commit towards his side, and you can already see the Dreamers is considering leaning as well, and it's the right choice. XL have decided to switch things up, and Feku is still holding that one line, and he's gonna have the pressure coming in now. Sight hit en route. Molesy gets dealt with. Patatek, great shot from up on top.
No.
And now Feku outdone, just got swarmed in the end, leaving just poor old Boo on his lonesome. The 4v1, and the adjustment was great. And hey, Boo did well. Yeah, he controlled the entirety of B, and I'm surprised there wasn't that earlier lean coming out from some of London United, but obviously we know more than they do. But XL making the best of what could have been a bad scenario.
I think as well you could note Destiny's probably in a position where his fault line reaches deep enough towards this door, or towards main, or towards drop. So it's not necessarily the worst thing. He can still slow things down before he commits to that rotation. I think actually XL wait out that utility perfectly. Feku put in a really, really awkward position. I mean, he has to find 1 or 2 kills there with an operator. It just gets overwhelmed. Boo gonna try and find the next.
That passion to play. Now we do still have Feku on this op again, so let's see how that plays out. But Boo with early contact and an early frag.
And I'll be honest, it's probably the worst one to find because Chihuahua, you can see straight away that's the indication they can lean away from A. They leave Boo solo now. XL have so many members to deal with on their way in here. Rolling Thunder actually going to get sent through. There's a judge at the top of it. Doesn't matter at all. Patatek and Element
Spike down.
absolutely sent to the slaughter here.
Feel that you're in the wrong place potentially, or being pinched. It's almost uncomfortable fight, but we are going back in, and maybe a pace change for XL as an early fight is being vied for by Element.
The nade actually going to do a good chunk of damage there. Takes pretty much all the shields away. They're actually going to swing back on this
by Boo.
flash. Element, not sure what that was there, but Molesy will clean things up on the back of it.
And the map is being smothered. They've done everything right now. Yeah, Mo can do a bit of damage, but there's another player around the corner, and time is now being bought. Already, Boo gonna put down the utility to deny easy access, and he actually slips away. He doesn't want to overstay his welcome or allow an easy pick to come through. Mo still trying to find it. Tagged up, though. 44 HP. Ain't much to be talking. No, and again, it's been key 2 massive rounds off the back of that on its own. Boo finding Chihuahua in the one prior, and then just now you saw that. So quick calls, quick rotations, and full faith. Now, bear in mind this round we are seeing sheriffs and a little odds and ends, and that feels nasty. Chihuahua's not going to be loving that one. London United is going to keep them at arm's length. This could be an overwhelm, though. That's a good swing out. Destrian caught in what seemed to be the intention from the prior round, now actually committed through, and Boo's got to be careful to not overdo it, but the timing's right. Boo's feeling this game. It's all lining up well. Look at this guy go. And again, we saw Boo having a tough game in the one we saw them
sent through. Actually, this time, the XL pretty much try and force their way towards B early on. Look how early the rotation comes.
And there they are. Instantly, they swing across, able to pull over 2 players quite quickly off the back. And you can see almost surely this isn't actually the play, but it is. XL are here, and Boo's waiting patiently. Right place, potentially right time. Leave the rest to the side for the breach. I'm sure Moles will be over soon. There's the divide. We're waiting to see when it comes in. Before he goes out, Dreamers. That was unfortunate. It was close, but Mo does well to at least handle that. Now Spike should be able to go down. Boo still going to be keeping position towards that tower. The ult comes out as well, so position's fully realized, and the swing.
Oh, no.
Oh, not ideal. 4v4 now, and Spike's still not down.
The showstopper actually went on with fire mode. That is the spike down. In the right way, though.
Oh, and this
Oh, they're
reaggress.
cleaning him up.
And XL just got caught in no man's land. That awkward timing, the space cache, and you can see it coming through once again. And that was an investment of ult as well.
And I gotta say, this is where the default suffers, because you have these rounds now where they have to scramble. It's desperation to try and get something from nothing. Another good nade from Molesy. Do a little bit of damage, slow things down. Actually does turn that flash pretty well, and meant that Mo will fall straight away. It's just absolutely farming them. Literally.
Find much more comfort later, but for now, this is just
they're running
really
it down.
enjoyable to
Lauren,
watch.
they are running it down again. This is a 5-man push.
Maybe just hoping they get it right, the timings, but this looks so
the
similar to the
utility!
prior round and the nades. Look at this!
Spike down.
London
A.
United are absolutely destroying XL. Molesy is making it look so simple, and the swing, the spacing, it's little combo
utility.
work there. It's rare you see a team playing this well, and guess what? We got 5 players. Well, actually no, excuse me, 4 players this time. But more often than not, as soon as they find Chihuahua, they know exactly where to be leaning, and it's
Got a good
pinch
idea.
actually coming out from London United, and it looks like they're going to find an isolated player here.
Round 12 is when London United try and switch things up. Chihuahua actually will show his hand straight away. Again, it's the player on XL that you don't want spotted early on. Now London United should have a good idea of where XL are looking to end up.
I guess the one thing that I have to be cautious of was how deep could they get, but the utility was still keeping the site safe. It hasn't been breached yet. It hasn't been taken over. So again, you've got 3 players this side. They're aware that Chihuahua's going to be around. He's been found. Now that alleviates the other players to hit the rotation.
Another
But Molesey's
nade
got it
kill.
on lock already. Sends it, catches it. He's got 2. The site's all his. No one's getting in. Molesy finally goes down to Aussie, but you can see it. London United have the players here, and that individual prowess matters not for XL. Yeah. Now, again, side switch comes in, could be a fresh start for XL,
scared.
but mentally,
I'm scared.
I wouldn't be loving it. This wouldn't be like, oh, don't worry, guys, we've got this. This would be a, little quiet on TeamSpeak. All goes up. I have to show at least a fair amount of presence early on, but again, I look across the map. They've pulled the rotation in. The additional 3rd player now going to hit towards that B site. That's going to be Patatek leaning on over. But Feku's still going to start his account. Already Chihuahua and Mo trying to work out this crossfire can actually hold.
Thank you. Actually pointing out where the spy cam is. And I think actually they've noted how Chihuahua was trying to play this, but the poison orb going to allow them. Actually, going to try and drop this.
Look how close. They've already closed the gap on Chihuahua. He's in trouble here. Yeah, he's in severe trouble here. He got pinched on that. They made that piece just to isolate him. And Dreamus is
Someone
in the
to pick
back.
up both
They had
of them.
no idea. This is just, again, they are still showing this. Now, bear in mind, Patatek kind of leant back a little, kind of through mid towards Zay, just to try and make sure this wasn't going to be anything other than expected. But by now, Spike's going down, the wall's still there, and they've still got Dreamus in this dirty position. He's going unchecked and trying to be ignored, and he's absolutely having none of it. Nice shot from Aussie to find Feku, but there's still so many bodies in the place here. Patatek needed that shot and ain't come through. Boo has taken down.
Play is crazy.
And it's not just cheesy looks, right? It's really nice fundamental
Beautiful to
approaches
watch.
to. This really is. This is one to go back and enjoy, and I don't often say that about a 12-1.
No,
I really
no.
don't. It's something that normally is just garbage. But XL are trying their best. They're not necessarily having a terrible game, but pound for pound, we're just seeing a really nice approach from London United. Now, at this point, Molesy, nothing can go wrong for the man. And as much as I say, yes, individual prowess wasn't the key element, he certainly had an outstanding performance. But you look at how it's been coupled with the utility setups coming out from Destrian and all the other bits and pieces. But Spike is down, and now 4 players. Chihuahua, lovely shot, finding Dreamus. All right, fair enough, XL. Let's see if we can make that scoreboard a little bit more respectable, but the last man standing is Molesy, and he does not want to be moved, and these paint shields have been absolutely critical. He's still doing the dance. Oh, he's got Element! Another 1v1!
Oh, no!
It's surely! Oh,
23
an
HP.
Aussie.
He was so close to clutching that.
You can.
We see. I want to see Molesy on Raze for the rest of the day. Even if
Yeah,
Lothar is
show more of
screaming
that.
and crying watching.
Taking that back.
Force it.
Look, he can't be mad. Lothar's gonna love this game. Have you seen how they're
Yeah,
approaching
actually,
this?
he will be enjoying this.
Yep. Now Aussie should be on for at least a fair bit of impact here if he plays it right. And there's the
Spike down,
first.
B.
Could be a nuisance now. Doesn't have to overstep too much. Can play this right to the timing. Again, for XL, if they want to make something of this, it has to be very clean. And in a scenario like this, it's a long road back. But first pick comes in. And we are up against Sheriff, so want to make sure you keep your head about you. And that's how you lose it. All right, Chihuahua going down. Aussie called into action. And there's Mo. So, again, this isn't going perfectly. Not found anything.
I mean, how do you
here.
pop off versus this kind of
Yeah.
this play style that London United bring in? There's not really much room for a Jet to pop off, honestly.
Nope. Tailor-made to deny that,
Support
right?
system in place to address everything XL tried to do. But he'll be called upon here. We'll find the first.
Nice.
Over 70 HP.
Triggered.
Aussie goes re-exploring here to try and find the other side of it. Nicely done. Very proactive here, but
Really
left a
nice.
little bit of a gap whether or not London United are going to be able to get ahead of this. Actually, no dash from Fekir. He used that earlier on in the round, but just tries to hop onto site. Doing Destrian now.
I hope we see more of this from XL. A little bit of a life in them, and maybe a wake-up call for Element. And the boys, it's hard to be proactive on any map when you're, down this much, because you feel like one
Down
mistake
bad.
can really cost you.
Down real bad.
And again, this should be clean. And for
Again, on this scoreline, you look at that overlay, and it's basically a matter of time, right? Until London United have the tools at their disposal, close out another round. But they can ride these out. Yes, it's nice to say, yeah, it was 11-1 in the first half, we got 3 back, but actually this leans in that kind of snowball factor that we know is so prevalent in Valorant.
yes, prioritizing getting that blaze to one line and investing it now.
Okay.
All right. And it's gone poorly.
It's not paid
gone
off.
exceedingly badly. It's
That's a bad
could
miss.
have gone worse. That's a bad miss. I don't think it could have gone worse. Literally
Yeah.
get it online and instantly I was like,
I'm
no,
like, you
not
hear the
for you.
voice line, you're just like, I'm going to spam the smoke. Oh.
Oh, barrel shown though. Mo. Ooh. Oh, Mo. London United are desperately trying to find something here, but no one is going down for 3 this time. Boo gonna just step on in. Easy work. Light work for Mo. And Destrian's pretty low HP, as is Molsey, so damage
seconds
looking
left.
less and less likely.
Yeah, I still look towards the next round. I'm watching this now. Destrian falls, Rolling Thunder online. And that's everything. Rolling Thunder on a Viper's Pit to get onto site, make sure they can reinforce it. The next round's going to be really interesting. On top of that, you saw the showstopper too.
Last player standing.
Speaking of 2, we'll find
down,
Molsey and
B.
Destrian.
Did you just
Oh,
find
no,
new ones?
actually. Ooh,
You
okay.
actually did. Oh, wait. Quick start. Whoa. I'm talking nonsense. Boo's in a world of danger. Maybe Element is now as well. Doesn't make it out of there. Element caught in no man's land. Thought he could convert in time. But Boo managed to stay alive. Dreamer's punishing Mo. London United out of
Ooh,
nowhere.
that's crucial.
Molsey. Ooh. Palitek just about takes him down in time. But instantaneous trade. Destrian ready for the fallback there. Gets the punish on his opposing number. And now a 4v2. Chihuahua and Aussie need a moment here. And Chihuahua can be one of those players sometimes. I actually really enjoy watching him play when he's having one of those games. But the ult comes online. That denies it. And now it's all on Chihuahua. How much can you do? 87 HP and a bit of a dream here because this is looking sewn up.
You can even find his way back in here again. Like I said, the Viper's Pit will secure site control here heavily in favor of London United. Got one player playing outside. Just a matter of time. Chihuahua looking desperate now, Lauren. Yeah.
Beck, you gonna just